Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Heaven's Secret Requiem Season 2 Episode 2. Y'all, I am just looking forward to us finally having some alone time with CAIN because I have the feeling that this author is actually really trying to test my patience, because the only thing we are getting is like every single other person but CAIN. Like the Immortals, I feel like the Immortals have become like side characters. They are just never there. They are just mentioned. They get to do the dirty work. They get to like do the heavy lifting, protect everyone, and at the end of the day, they're nowhere inside. I hate it. But let's see what this episode is all about. The closer the base, the darker the sky above us became. Ugh. Episode 2, Atom Base and an Endless Rain. The rain drummed on the rusty old warehouse roof. Drops trickled down the pipes and dripped on the corpses of the soldiers who'd driven out to pick us up. It was their last mission. Their lives were cut short by cultists who'd appeared out of nowhere. I'm still so upset that they decided to make the general someone who's immune. They said this bitch is immune. Like, this man is immune against anything. Immune against humanity. And apparently immune against the disease as well. This man just does not die. He's like a cockroach. No matter how many times you try to kill him, he always comes back. One thing was clear. Rotkov's miasma had leaked beyond the city. The disaster we thought we dealt with was only just beginning to gain momentum. It's sickening to look at the ones left hanging and that disgusting buzzing of flies. Amen, sis. Wow. Suddenly a sharp thud surprised us from behind. A bucket fell, rolled a few feet and stopped. If zombies would have been there, y'all, we would have been dead. Everyone looked around, trying to see who'd made the noise. Someone was approaching us. Everyone knew his face well. Cracking his stiff neck, he opened his eyes. I involuntarily hid behind one of the squad members, afraid of what might happen. Y'all, I can't. Like, this man, he just does not die. I thought we were rid of him. As much as I felt bad that he got shot and everything, but that was just like my humanity coming through. Like, why? My head is pounding. Where are we? And what happened here? Greg, Anna, Kira, and I gave each other meaningful looks. The general didn't look infected. It seemed like even his fever had receded. But no one knew how someone bitten might behave. There was no guarantee he wouldn't turn into a monster all of a sudden. Looking at him, I want to smile, don't react, scowl. Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna go a smile, and not because of anything, because you all know, even with the Diamond Rush, I never did anything that would like deepen a relationship with this man because he's a bitch, he needs to go. But I'm gonna go a smile because of one reason. I'm not happy when someone dies, as much as a bitch as they can be. I want to believe in the good in people, and I want to encourage people to actually bring that goodness out, because I feel like the life we live in, like this century, with all these norms, with all this bullshit, like, it's sad enough as it is. And the very few people like me that actually want to cling onto hope, onto positive things in life, as small as they are, they become less and less with each passing day. And I want to be like one of the people that actually continues to believe in the good in people. I want to bring good. As in, if I need to oppose everything out there, then I will. Smile. The corners of my lips lifted slightly. Dimitri noticed and his expression softened a little. Excuse you. So is everyone here. I'm glad no one else was hurt. Your friendship with Dimitri is growing stronger. What are you talking about? It's just a human thing. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, it depends from person to person. A lot of people grow bitter depending on what happens in their lives. But I could never be happy, like, to hear someone die. I might not feel personally involved in this, so it wouldn't actually hurt me. But I would never be happy that someone died. General, you're swaying. Greg instinctively lunged to stop Lester, but he was too slow. Lester reached Dimitri and let him lean on his shoulder. Smiling cheerfully and gesturing expressively, Lester seemed genuinely happy Dimitri was bad. Of course. We couldn't understand why you had such a bad reaction to your injury. It's been days since we left Rotkov. The others joined them. The soldiers all agreed with what Lester was saying, of course, because they're all like bystanders.
Several days.
Yes, Dimitri.
What happened to the city? How did we get here? Did you hear anything from the base?
Starting to find some focus, the general immediately tried to make sense of our situation. After feeling that he's still weak, I mean, he still was infected. Again, I explained that, like, with this a thing like zombie apocalypse and everything. Like, you are bitten, you don't really get infected because you are immune, but you still go through, like, the process that everyone else goes through. And when everyone, like, arrives at the point where they turn into zombies, the people that are immune, the cells that actually started to develop, they start to reduce and then they slowly disappear. So he still was infected. He still needs to recover. He, unlike others, just managed to keep his sanity, which is just like meant in a biblical sense, not in a literal sense, because the general never had a sense. He must have felt out of place after being unconscious, even for a brief period of time. Dimitri would have continued tormenting the squad with the questions if he hadn't noticed the wall opposite them.
Wait, whose bodies are those?
Does it really matter? The general pointed his chin at the cross and the hooks hanging nearby, like they did not have to be like this, like you do not touch Jesus. We were running out of snow, so we called the base for cars and reinforcements, but everything went wrong. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed how the stranger lowered his head. His face was hidden by the collar of his coat. Perhaps he was struggling to stay conscious. Following Lester, Kira, and Anna approached Dimitri. Oh, now these two bitches. They surrounded him, checking him over with concern, but they didn't dare ask him any questions. Noah rolled his eyes and shook his head. Amen, brother. Such an overreaction, as if the general rose from the dead. Greg was in no hurry to see Dimitri. Are you not willing to share the leadership? Aren't you happy that he recovered so quickly? Honestly, at this point, no. He folded his arms and spoke in a commanding tone, one I hadn't heard from him before. It was impossible to disobey. The general needs time to get up to speed, and this is no time for us to relax. Honestly, I think I'm gonna start to dig Greg a little bit, but just because of this. The view that is unfolding in front of me is simple. This man is not a bystander / a follower. This man has a very strong opinion. And people that are very confident, they feel extremely comfortable in their own skin. And they are quite impulsive, which means that they are difficult to control. They are leaders. And when you are a leader, you do not listen to anyone else. You could care less if someone was a leader before. I took responsibility for us all. I brought us here. I could care less if you were the leader before. I'm my own leader now. I'm not gonna step under you ever again. So I'm actually excited to see the showdown.
We can answer all the questions later. For now, we need to get to the remaining car back in order and finally get to the train station.
With a rope thrown over their shoulders, CAIN and Pylon tied one end to the rear wheels of the only vehicle that still worked and tried to pull it up out of a ditch. And Nia held it from below, keeping it from sliding back down. While the Immortals rescued or possible transport, the squad dealt with the dead soldiers. The stranger helped Lester and Noah. Together they removed the bodies from the hooks, carried them outside, and covered them with dead branches.
We can't dig a hole right now. We should burn them so animals don't tear them apart, but the smoke will attract attention. We'll cover them up with plywood. That's the best we can do.
Dimitri helped the rest of the squad despite Anna's complaints. Shut up, Anna! The soldiers weren't happy about that, but no one dared to contradict the general. I hate that they continue to call him the general. Like, this gives off like vibes of you actually trying to put this bitch next to a god like Aemon, you know? Stop calling him general. General and the Epistates is not that big of a stretch, y'all. He's probably pretty shaken by what's happened. For such a disciplined person like Dimitri, it must be devastating. He's trying to get a better grasp on the situation and regain control over it.
Anna, calm down. You're acting like this is the first time I've been wounded.
It's the first time you've been bitten. It's the first time you've been bitten, probably.
It's the first time you've been wounded like this.
Ooh, yeah.
You've lost a lot of blood. Try not to waste energy on this that can be handled without you.
Hearing that last part, Dimitri frowned.
We still have a long way to go, and I won't let you drive me crazy.
Then I need a detailed report of what happened in the church from the moment.
Anna bit her lip and looked at the rest of the squad. Everyone else was busy with work. Yeah, they don't want them to know. Why? Because they would have him locked up.
Is that an order?
I want to order both of you to get out of my face. Like, this is not the time, bitches. Like, in general, they get on my nerves. But now they get even more on my nerves. This is not a time. Are we seeing the typhoon that's happening? Are we seeing the huge-ass rain? I don't have time for your family bullshit. Like, step aside. Let people do the work.
Yes.
Anna dusted the snow off her clothes and led the general to one of the trailers. I only caught short snipes of the conversation. She was telling him everything without skimping on the details. I watched what was happening as I loaded and secured supply bags in the trunk of the car. That guy in the raincoat. Did I imagine him just like the dead Anna? Or is he wandering around here somewhere observing us on the sly? Honestly, I have the feeling that we have the power to, like, I don't know, predict the future. When they finally managed to get the car out, Greg started the engine. Hearing the characteristic roar everyone exhaled, the squad would be able to leave.
We need to hook up the trailers and put the snowmobiles in the warehouse. Once we're done, we can move out.
The heavy snowmobiles wouldn't budge until the Immortals got to work. CAIN and Pylon shoved them inside in a matter of minutes.
Are humans capable of anything on their own?
Honestly, I was thinking the exact same thing, but I did say something small in the beginning, like the Immortals doing the heavy lifting and the humans literally just sitting next to them, like, just watching.
If you're not happy with something, hell would welcome you back with open arms.
But you don't seem eager to go there. I can't.
CAIN. If there's someone that makes me happy at the end of the day, it's seeing your fine ass.
Well, at least they're waiting for me.
Damn! That was low. I hate this as much as I like this, y'all. Like that sentence, damn. Like, he's like, yeah, at least someone is waiting for me in hell, but no one is waiting for you, nor in heaven nor in hell. Holding the warehouse door, I watched as the rest of the squad filled with the trailers. Yeah. Once all the snowmobiles were placed neatly side by side, I covered them. What if the cultists come back? They'll take them.
Even if they do, so what? Are you planning on returning here?
Not without you. No, but we're just leaving them here?
The generators are falling more frequently, and there's no one to fix them. I don't think anyone would want these useless parts of metal.
Let's block the door with something heavy if it makes you feel better.
I think we don't have time for this. At this point, I don't give a damn anymore. We don't have time for this.
Whatever you say, we're down here, so let's go back to the others.
You didn't block the warehouse doors. This will affect the story in the future. Huh? Just for closing a door or not? Greg connected 2 trailers with a cable, with which solved the problem of the car's small capacity.
We have a whole caravan now.
Smiling cheerfully, he walked to the trailer at the end and deftly jumped inside. Y'all have the feeling I made a huge-ass mistake by not saying to close the door. He's sitting with Nick and Dimitri. Anna's probably in there too. She wouldn't want to leave her brother's side. There are several pairs of army boots sticking out of the other trailer. I think those are the soldiers I never got to know. All that's left for me to do is get in the car then. Opening the door, I climbed inside. Greg was behind the wheel, and Kira sat in the seat next to him. She took the seat next to him. I wouldn't mind sitting there either. That. Not because of anything, but just because if I sit behind her, I need to listen to her, y'all. Like, she is right there. Like, I can ignore her if she's, like, sitting behind me, which is literally where her sorry ass belongs, behind me. After the girl sees sights from the warehouse, I wanted to be next to someone who could dispel all my depressing thoughts with a few words. And you thought Greg can do that? CAIN! CAIN, bitch! For me, that person was Greg. Oh! What is all this bullshit? I did say the author. I have my beef with that fucking author. Like, what are you doing, ma'am? Is it a ma'am or is it a sir? I don't know. I'm just gonna be both. Like, what do you think you're doing, ma'am? Or what do you think you're doing, sir? You're desperately trying to make us like Anna, Greg, Dimitri, and Kira again. After all the bullshit you pulled. Greg is the one we need by our side. After CAIN literally did everything in his power to protect us, to make sure that we are alive and everything. We need Greg by our side. Are you serious? He didn't have to say anything special, but his whole being, it had a calming effect. Or are you saying that being around CAIN is actually making your pulse go up? Because I would understand that, but nothing else. Although there's no point in lying to myself, I feel comfortable with him because he always tries to be there for me. He makes jokes, helps out, and is the one to start a conversation. It's easy to get used to that. In the rear view mirror, I saw Greg watching me with interest. What? Oh, I did remember last episode we kind of got like this moment between these two, but in general, when we decided to go with CAIN inside to like check up everything, this man was upset. As in, he didn't want us to be alone with this man.
You're frowning. Are you uncomfortable?
Always when you all are around. Always. I still haven't forgiven y'all. I still haven't forgiven him. I still haven't. He turned to face me after he moved his seat up to give my niece more room.
If there's something wrong, say so.
Sure as hell not with this bitch next to us. I'm fine, thank you. He stared back, not believing me. Bitch, you actually think I'm gonna say something, especially with this bitch next to us? Really? I'm just tired.
Okay, then.
He turned back around. Exhaling, I crossed my legs and shifted toward the window. Suddenly, I felt someone touch my ankle. Greg's hand was reaching through the other side to tickle me before he pulled away. What? What is this? Okay, that's kind of cute. It's cute. But no. No! Greg is not forgiven. And where the fuck is my man? He smiled when I shot him a confused look in the rearview mirror. Bitch, you can't tell me that you don't know what he's doing. That smile should be illegal. Even though there was another woman sitting next to Greg, all his attention was focused on you. It's easy to ignore Kira, y'all, because she kind of reminds me of a Karen. The car door opened again. Noah and the stranger squeezed into the back seat next to me. The stranger sat between me and Noah. His head touched the ceiling. He's so tall. Noticing my look, he glanced at me and smiled sweetly. Huh?
With 2 trailers, we'll have to drive slowly. They'll wobble, but hopefully they won't tip over. Everything will be fine. I'll drive carefully. But don't buckle up. We might have to leave the car abruptly.
Just then the car rocked and I shuddered. Greg quickly took out his transceiver and attached it to a dashboard vent. Not them being outside watching everything. I fucking hated.
And Nia and I took off. There's no one ahead, but visibility is poor because of the rain.
As soon as I heard CAIN's voice, I relaxed. Thank you. That I understand. If he's in control of the journey, it's unlikely anything will happen to us. I remembered CAIN's burning gaze as he mercilessly tore apart the monks and then the touch of his hands on my skin. We actually feel some type of way about the entire situation. Like, if I'm being honest, CAIN is a mystery, but it's his past. Like, we like a man who's mysterious and everything. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that. I just sense a lot of pain in CAIN, and he's trying to cover it up with being numb and everything, like taking everything as a joke, not trying to let anything reach this man's heart. And the closer someone is capable to get to him, the more it confuses the shit out of him, because he has been pretending that he has no feelings for such a long time, because he knows that allowing himself to feel will only cause him pain. So he has been numb the entire time. And now, maybe even because he grew a soft spot for us back then, because the thing is that we all have the feeling that CAIN and our character knew each other before all this happened. And so there's already this backstory. But ignoring that, this man rarely lets anyone in, because he doesn't know how to anymore, because he has been pretending to not feel anything for such a long time that he actually got used to this phase of his. Like, he's used to never ever showing that he truly cares. And now when someone is trying to get close to him and he starts to develop feelings as well, doesn't matter if they're romantic or not, it confuses him. He doesn't understand how feelings work anymore, because he has been suppressing them for such a long time. We have no idea how old Greg is, but he's definitely older than us. And it's so intriguing to see this. Yeah. She likes him as much as she is scared of him at this point, because they really haven't talked about this. He even said that he doesn't remember tearing those monks apart, but we remember vividly in color. And I feel like this is gonna be an issue, because she can't move past that fact as much as I couldn't move past the fact about what those bitches did to us back then.
Balin will fly behind you to keep an eye out for trails. Good. Report on the route every 15 minutes.
CAIN answered affirmatively, after which the radio went from static to silence. We were ready to move.
So does someone want to perform the ritual again? Did we not achieve or stop anything? Is that it?
No matter what's happening without the book, they don't have the final symbol. As long as we have it, we're in control. I'm still sad about Boris. I glanced at the stranger sitting next to me. I couldn't trust anyone, so I added, and CAIN will never give it up. Everyone fell silent. Greg started driving, and we moved forward smoothly. I will never give it up either. Drops of rain trickled down the glass. Its measured, drumming sound made my eyes start to droop. I closed my eyes. My last thought was about his newly emerging danger. I was awakened by loud voices talking and gusts of cold wind hitting me right in the face. The car doors were open. Everyone I had been riding with was outside, deciding something by some tall iron gates. Sluggishly, I propelled myself out of the car and trudged toward the others. Where is my man? We're at the entrance to the tunnel?
Yes, the train to Oxford is waiting for us in there.
Yeah, to Oxford. You a wizard, Harry. Snow fell from above the tunnel entrance as CAIN and Ania jumped down to us. Yoo-hoo! Yo. Just give me CAIN, bitch! God damn it!
There's nothing to worry about. There's not a soul around.
The stranger nodded and felt for a card in his pocket. He turned it over in his hands, found the code, and punched a short combination into the call panel. The bolts behind the door started to shift, and the passage into the tunnel slowly opened. Like those poor immortals, like they're being used like dogs, I don't know. Inside there was a small station and tracks going into an underground passage only just wide enough for a train. There were only a few train cars, making it the shortest train I'd ever seen in my life. While Greg parked the car inside the station, I walked over to the train with Kira and the stranger.
Why don't you tell me your name?
Jan.
Jan? What did I say? Station 934. A door opened. The train conductor and a doctor in a white suit stood side by side. They looked sleepy, as if they hadn't been expecting any company. The conductor spoke German. Thank you. And the doctor had to translate. Oh, I'm fine. Like, I can translate myself as well. Ooh, he cute too.
He's asking if you need a ride to Oxford.
Yes. The conductor snorted contemptuously and muttered something in response before walking into the cabin without even finishing the conversation.
Don't pay attention to him. He's got a thing about time. If you're a second late, it causes a scene. Are you okay? Does anyone need help?
We have two in bad shape.
Take them to my medical car. We'll see what we can do. Oh, and hurry the others up. Hans has gone to his spot, so we'll be leaving soon. Is there anyone else on the train? Is it just the two of you staffing it?
This man will be talking extremely slow, just because
there were two mechanics with us, but they got mauled by abominations a week ago.
Damn.
My condolences.
Aww.
Oh, what can I say? It's their own fault. They wanted to rob houses, even though Hans warned them not to get off during the stops. They were young. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters now is that you don't act stupid and we get there in one piece.
Soon everything was loaded onto the train, including the patients who were transferred to hospital beds in the medical car. Once the squad closed the tunnel doors to the outside, I exhaled. I'm sorry, but the fact that we're literally in an apocalypse world and at least someone is still ready to move the train from the train station. This is hilarious. That oppressive feeling of being hunted has lifted. Nothing in here threatening us. It's only thick concrete walls and the underground. Imagine being stuck there, girl. We waited for the immortals to get on board. Once they did, the train started moving. Yoo-hoo! My man!
This brings back some old memories about the school.
The demon squinted at Ania. She only raised her eyebrows in confusion.
Although what I'm talking about, you are a saint. No parties, not even a drop of glift. Actually, I've been in our old garage more than once.
Are you talking about the same kind of school that humans go to?
Yes, we're not born with knowledge. Immortals need to learn everything too.
I wonder what they learn there exactly. I'd like to know what they teach demons, angels, all the immortals. Demons. Perhaps how to master the dark arts and their incredible strength. Madness, power, and the impenetrable darkness of demonic souls. Y'all, I feel like I'm gonna be scary. Like our character is gonna turn dark. This is not like being like this bitch-ass icon. No, this is gonna be dark. We're gonna lose ourselves in a pool of darkness. Rivers of blood probably flow among young demons. The train shook and everyone reached to grab something, trying to hold on. Grinning maliciously, the conductor came out to us, followed by Jan.
We're late, so we'll be going faster than usual. This will make the train rock, so try to be careful.
That old man looks like he's just waiting for a chance to mess with us.
We're not making any stops. You can rest now. The next car down has sleeper compartments that each accommodates several people. This is the common area. And then there's the medical department. There's a portable stove, some water, and some food. Hans said it was for you.
Thank you. That's all very helpful. Greg turned to the squad and clapped his hands above his head.
Those who want to eat, stay here. The rest of you can go rest.
The squad began to slowly disperse. I tensed as I peered at the door leading to the next car. The general was lying in there. Maybe I should check on Dimitri just to calm my nerves? No. I want to make sure Dimitri is okay. I want to check on the general as a member of the squad. Do I want to check up on him? No, I don't, because I could care less. I want CAIN. But apparently, like I said, the author is petty as fuck. I'd rather help with the meals. I just want to sit down on my ass. Can I do that? I could care less. I'd rather help with the meals. A few minutes later, the common area emptied out. Greg and Noah started cooking together and wouldn't let anyone else near the stove. Lester and Kira wanted to help, but were turned away. They sat on the bench and entertained each other by talking. CAIN sat behind the others. He looked out the window absently, gazing at the endless concrete wall rushing by. Me. I guess he can't really move around in the compartment with his wings. I sat down and tried to catch the gist of the dialogue.
I'll go check on Nick and the general. No, there's not much left, so you finish up the cooking. Just don't oversalt it.
Greg turned as quickly as he left. He looked dejected. After tasting the resulting dish, he nodded and summed it up in a dry voice.
Excellent, let's plate it.
I served myself some rice and looked at the canned goods lying nearby. Ooh, peas and fish, sausage and vegetables. I would be on with the sausage. Ooh, pomodori. So sorry. My Italian coming through. Ooh. I can't, y'all. This is so hilarious. Something from a can with an erased name. Bye. Nope. Fish and peas.
CAIN, will you have some?
No. The angel turned his thoughtful eyes to Greg. Without answering, he took his portion and sat down next to me. You can add something to it so it won't taste so bland.
I don't feel like it.
Oh. I actually thought that he wouldn't take anything to eat, but just because he took something to eat, which is just a sign out of courtesy, does not mean that he's gonna eat it.
You're missing out. This sausages taste like an old boot. The vegetables are like slugs in this.
Lester pointed to the kid of unknown origin.
Perhaps the beginning of some new civilization.
Bye, Lester.
Thank you. I immediately want to try.
This man's humor. The warm rice had a pleasant, homey aroma. I liked the taste way better than the noodles we had recently. The rice was a different color than I was used to. It was gray, oblong, and some bites were barely chewable. But the atmosphere in the train car and the cheerful voices of the squad would have made any food special. Smiling, I quietly listened to them and slowly ate my portion.
Come on, the canned foods taste normal. You've been eating nothing but caviar since you were a kid. Your taste buds are distorted. Yeah, covered with gold and platinum.
She was rich? No wonder she's a bitch.
Just so you know, when I was a kid, I didn't even have anything to wipe my own ass with.
Amen, brother.
I'm one of those self-made people.
I put another spoonful of rice in my mouth and watched with interest as the talk continued. Talk with your man. He's like right there. How can you listen to them when your man is there? Like, especially, this is not like I said it in my summer night reaction, y'all. In my eyes, you need to be capable to do both. Be a good friend and be a good girlfriend, okay? Like, CAIN is my man. Like, It's not like I'm that obsessed that I want to be with him all the time, but the author literally almost gives no fucking time for us to spend time with anyone that isn't those bitches that actually had us hooked on that fucking machine, striping us of our own free will. Like, I can't. Like, I think episode 8 from season 1 was the last episode we actually got to have like a nice moment with CAIN where we had like this romantic option. That's the only moment. If not, after that, just like, I don't know, like one small scene or like a few sentences with this man, and then the scene is over. And the entire episode is only then about Dimitri or Greg or whatever. What is this bullshit? The author is petty.
I wonder how. We don't see any of your talents in the field. My talents are meant for the ladies.
Son, who lied to you?
Why are you jumping off topic? You're such a peacock.
Ooh. You grew closer to the squad. You're comfortable together. Uh-huh. For a second, the lights flickered and the train rocked back and forth. There was silence, broken only by Kira's question.
How's Nick? You went to see him? Not sure what's wrong with him. He's changed. He's withdrawn, twitchy, restless. And it scares me that he barely talks about what happened to him while he was held captive. I don't think he had a pleasant experience there. Amen, brother.
Nick is the youngest of the squad, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's also one of the most competent. At least he was.
After the meal, Kira showed me the compartment where Ania and Anna had already settled in. Ania was sleeping on the top bunk with her wings tucked in. Anna didn't look tired at all. She was rummaging through things, taking them out of an old box.
God, you're covered all the seats with clothes. Can we at least sit somewhere? I didn't cover them. I kindly picked out some new things for you. Look, Hans gave me a box of forgotten luggage. There is a bunch of junk from tourists here.
After looking at Anna's offering, Kira sighed sadly and plopped down on her bed.
Later, I'll change when we arrive. I'm too tired now.
Turning away from us, she covered herself with a thin blanket and fell silent.
And you?
Oh, that's cute! I would wear this, fragile snowflake. This is giving schoolgirl vibes. Ooh, I also would wear this. This gives off vibes of like Chinese schoolgirls, some of. You know what? Let's go with this one. Even though I would wear the free one. I need different hair. Give me a second. Now, after picking out the clothes we liked, Anna and I put the scattered items back into the box and lay down on our bunks. The compartment plunged into darkness. I couldn't sleep. Listening to the measured swaying of the train, I quickly dozed off, but then immediately woke up from a nightmare. As soon as I close my eyes, I see dead Anna, infected Dimitri, dying Boris. They're haunting me. Left in the dark with them, they get closer, get under my skin, becoming part of me. That's an unpleasant feeling. She has the feeling that the negativity is consuming her. This is bad, because this is a metaphor. This is not meant in a literal sense. Becoming part of me is a metaphor. So she has the feeling that the darkness that she has been trying to keep in, like all the negativity that she had to suppress because of the people like doing her harm, is like slowly starting to consume her. I stood up and looked at the sleeping woman. Each of them had their faces turned to the wall. Kira's whole head was covered with her blanket. There was something childlike about that, innocent and fragile. Yeah, they all look cute when they sleep and then they wake up. Maybe I shouldn't have tried sleeping in here. My stomach feels weird. Yeah, barf all over them. Anyone but Ania. Ania is still cool because we really hadn't had time to have like a cat fight with her. And I love how confident she is. So let's cut her some slack. Not the others though. Sitting up, I opened the curtain that covered the large window. On the other side of the train, an iron grate made of thick rods was soldered to it. The light at the head of the train only slightly illuminated the tunnel. We could almost be traveling through a very long metro station. The darkness was choking me. I was seeking images even while awake. Wanting to escape, I felt for my notebook and silently left our cabin. Where is my man? I walked along the dark corridor. All the compartment doors were curtained and closed. There was no light anywhere, just the sound of the rushing, humming train. I'm sorry, I need to say why I was laughing. I was like, if everyone has like a sleeping department and we all have to share, who is CAIN sharing with? Sometimes the train rocked to the side and I had to lean on the wall to keep my balance. A light flickered in a small window ahead. The common car was very close. A door opened unexpectedly and CAIN flew at me. Fly at me, bitch. Jump on me. His wings, which didn't immediately fit through the doorway, filled the entire space and pushed him toward me. Yes! Ooh! So sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Is this man having some sexual fantasies and he needs to play them out? Is he like in some sort of dilemma? What drugs did you take, my guy? I'm sorry, but the picture in the back, like the background, he pressed me against the window, his arms outstretched to either side of me. What kind of outfit is this man having? He kind of gives off vibes of like Jack from Titan. I'm so sorry. Simona? I thought immortals had a sixth sense for humans. How come he didn't know it was me? Oh! Oh! I'm sorry. This is how you try to attack, like, potential enemies? Then I will willingly become an enemy. He thought that we were an enemy. He thought that we were, like, trying, I don't know, to, like, walk in here, even though we had, like, no right nor nothing. And he wanted to take us out. The hell? The car swayed and he got closer. CAIN, you can barely stand. Look into his eyes, bitch. What you mean? Move over where? Like this man literally has both of his hands next to our face. Where the fuck would we go? I closed the distance so there were only a few inches separating us. I raised my head and looked into his eyes. Did something happen? Towering over me, CAIN looked at me through a veil. I have the feeling he's traumatized. And that's also like a state of denial. I feel like I haven't made this analysis just yet, so I'm gonna say what I feel. Like, we were petrified of what CAIN did, and we saw a little glimpse of that earlier in this episode. When we talked to CAIN in the last episode, and we kind of talked a little bit about the fact that he like lost control and we tried to wake him up and anything. This man said he doesn't remember. But if you ask me, if this is a thing, CAIN looked at me through a veil. A veil is also a metaphor. And the metaphor here is that he's like looking at you without actually seeing you. Okay? Like you are in front of him, but he's literally looking past you. He's not actually realizing that you're in front of him. Because he is trapped in his most vulnerable torments. Like he's traumatized. He's trapped in his most vulnerable state. So he's looking at you, but considering the fact that his body is in front of you, but his mind is somewhere completely different, he's looking past you, okay? Because he's not really there with you. He is trapped in his darkest moments. I feel bad for him. It was the first time I had seen him so tormented. I didn't even read that one, y'all. It is. His sleeves were rolled up and the collar of his turtleneck was rumpled. Briefly, I thought he had a fever, but that was out of the question. His palm rested against the glass next to my face. I saw bludgeoning veins on his hand.
Yes, I got the wrong compartment.
Right. He pulled away, staggered, and walked on. This man is petrified to be alone with us. I feel like this was like a wake-up call for him, that the darkness inside of him is consuming him and he could have actually hurt us. So now it's like he's traumatized. Every single time he's alone with us, he gets backflashes to like this traumatic moment where he was killing all the priests and we were trying to help him snap out of it, and he was even willing to kill us. So that always brings back that he was incapable to control himself, not even for us. So he tries to avoid us like the plague. That could be also a thing. And that's why every single time that we're alone with him or like we have a moment with him, this man immediately gets up and leaves because he can't imagine or he's scared that he could lose control over himself again. It was a bizarre and alarming sign. What's wrong with him? Wait! Trying to stop him, I grabbed his wing without thinking. Ouch. He paused for a second and then walked on without even asking what I wanted. Then opening the right door, CAIN disappeared into his compartment. This man, I looked down. There was a white feather in my hand. Something kept me from throwing it away. Running it over the back of my hand, I smiled faintly. It was soft, cool, and pleasant. I tucked it in my notebook and went into the common room. I'm sorry. Hold the fucking phone. How was it possible? You kept CAIN's feather for yourself. I'm sorry. We grabbed him. Apparently we grabbed his wing. But how hard do you need to grab a wing / a feather in order to rip it apart? It's not like this man moved. He was just walking away straight forward. How did we actually rip a feather off? There was no one inside. As luck would have it, the one time I would have been glad for some company, there was no one around. My stomach twisted again. Seeing a bottle of water, I moved toward it, pouring some into a glass and taking a sip. That's a little better, but I still feel off. I'm sorry. If CAIN truly cares, if you would actually continue to call out for him, I have the feeling he wouldn't be capable to resist, or we would torment him even more. I mean, it's a risk I'm willing to take. Sitting down at the table, I took out my notebook and opened the page with the alphabet. The door leading to the medical unit creaked, and Jan entered the car. He had to bend down a bit because of the low ceiling. Noticing me, he raised his eyebrows in surprise.
Why aren't you sleeping?
I don't feel like it. He nodded and walked over to the portable stove. Opening a small compartment, he rummaged around inside it and pulled out a pack of tea.
Do you want some?
I said yes, and our new fellow traveler pulled out 2 bags. He turned on the heat and poured water from a bottle into a small saucepan.
So you've got the elite squad that's empty immortals.
I hope he doesn't ask anything I don't know. I don't want to explain all the time that I'm a servographer who disappeared for 3 years to know who's where. Yes. To avoid further questions about the squad, I changed the subject. Why? Are you afraid of them? Wiping the dust off 2 mugs, he smiled as if I had said something both naive and obvious. The scar on his cheek stretched. I wonder who left it.
You're funny.
Am I? Oh, maybe he gets jealous. I mean, I'm fine with a little gel sauce. He didn't answer the question. He poured boiling water into the mugs, brought them to the table, and sat down opposite me.
Let's see what kind of tea this is.
Let's hope you cleaned the mugs. A mug of tea. Breathing in the scent of the warm, aromatic liquid, I sipped my tea.
Has your general left the medical unit yet?
I don't think so. Jan brought his mug to his lips and winced.
Hot.
Leaning back against the bench, he drummed his long fingers on the rim of his cup. Looking up, I realized that he was eyeing me with curiosity. While we're alone, I can ask him about anything. Do you know anything about the demon hunter?
Why are you asking about him? Did he do something to you?
No, but he's wanted, I think. I wonder what for.
All I know is he wears a cloak and a mask, and that no one's seen his face.
Where is he based? I saw a flyer about him in the city we're coming from.
I don't know, but he's definitely surfaced in Oxford.
The squad probably just brought that leaflet to Radkov with them. Okay. When exactly did the cold appear?
We first heard about it about a day before your signal.
He looks so sad. But I'm sorry, in general, where did this man come from? There was no sign that someone was following us or something.
The cultists had killed some looters, but no one believed them. As you can see, that was a mistake.
Do you know anything about the cracked moon?
Adam doesn't send me reports. All I can say is that it looks nice, even being cracked.
Are you kidding me? It's going to affect the earth.
Yes, it will be a little worse than the horrors we have already endured.
How can I ask him about the order if I know almost nothing about it? I tried to draw the symbol I saw in Romanov's diary, but my pen ran out of ink. Damn.
Wait, I saw something in the drawer.
He stood up, returned to the tea compartment, and rummaged around before pulling out a grey tattered cosmetic bag.
Here you go.
Oh, so we can write with cosmetics? Inside there was an eyeliner pencil, some blue-tinted oil, a small mirror, and a chain. Thank you. I grabbed the pencil and drew a black, bold symbol of the order that barely resembled the original. Have you seen a symbol like this anywhere? Jan leaned closer and turned the notebook toward himself.
Yes.
Really? Where?
In one of these dates near Oxford.
And how would one find this place?
Ask the priest from Adam. He'll tell you.
Again with the priests, temples, and churches. Amen, sis. After taking a sip of tea, Jan returned my notebook and leaned back again.
Who are you? How do you know the symbol?
I'm a lab assistant, helping Anna. Jan smiled again. He wanted to say something in reply, but the door opened before he could. The doctor stumbled into the car out of breath. Oh!
You young fellow, move quickly. Come on, help me with your general. He needs to have his wound stitched up, and there are no painkillers. He might accidentally twitch and make me give him some new holes. Better safe than sorry.
As much as I think that he deserves punishment for what he did, this sucks. Like, it sucks to see someone in pain. Like, normally, like, the petty bitches, and honestly, I did have that thought just now, but I'm gonna drop it. I'm still gonna tell you all about it. Like, seeing this man cry or, like, wince in pain while he's being stitched up would be justice because he is a bitch. But no, like, no one deserves to go through pain. And, like, imagine being stitched up, not having painkillers, nor, like, anesthesia in order, like, to numb you down. Bah.
Me? You know I don't get along with him very well.
He meant us, right?
Why should I care whether you get along or not? Turn your face away and he won't even see you. He won't have time for that.
Looking at me as if our conversation was to be continued, Jan followed the doctor. Left alone again, I slowly finished my tea. My head was starting to spin, and I was sweating. I felt worse by the minute. Remembering the makeup bag, I took out the mirror and looked at myself. Eyes like a dead fish and sweat on my forehead. Charming. My gaze landed on the eyeliner lying next to me. We say we need makeup. Maybe that will somehow save the situation. I don't think so, girl. No eyeliner. Ooh. Ooh. I love this. Oh, that's also nice. I don't know. Honestly, let's go with this one. Then I took out the chain and turned it over in my hands. How did we change completely? Like our outfit, Angel Sorrows. Nice one. As soon as I got up from the table, the tea roiled in my stomach. What's wrong with me? Somehow I made it to the sleeper car. For some reason, the light was on in my compartment. What is this? Opening the door, I saw an unusual scene. Kira and Ania were grimacing as they watched Noah, who was sitting on Anna's bed and turning green, occasionally lowering his face into a paper bag as he made unpleasant retching noises. Anna was revealing through her first aid kit, examining the myriad pills inside.
Where are they?
With a pained expression, Noah brought the bag to his face again. A sour smell swept through the compartment, and my own dinner rose to my throat. I grabbed my mouth, trying to stop the nausea. Kira and Ania saw I was also feeling unwell, and then hurried out of the compartment along with their blankets.
God, are you sick too? Lie down on Kira's spot. She's not likely going to sleep here tonight.
Bye!
Are you wearing makeup?
Shut your mouth.
It suits you.
Oh, thank you. The smell is making my eyes water. Please be quiet. Oh, God. Otherwise, it'll all wash off.
Finally, I found it. I only have 2 kinds left. They're different, but they work the same, as it doesn't really matter. Take the first pill now, and the second one in a few minutes. Just don't mix them up. Noah should take his, and you should take yours. You never know if there might be side effects.
Nodding to Anna, Noah and I each took our first pill.
That's it, lie down. I can't take it anymore.
She pinched her nose and sprinted out of the compartment. No more separating men and women. Maybe CAIN felt sick too? Although it's unlikely that an immortal could be affected by something like that. But everyone has their weaknesses, and you are his. I grabbed some medication and went into the passage. She wants to make sure he's okay. And this is reasonable reaction. This is reasonable. CAIN has been with us the entire time. That's reasonable. I found CAIN's compartment and silently set 2 pills down on the edge of his table before going back. Bye. Noah was already in bed after taking a second pill. I followed his example and turned to the wall, praying that sleep would take away my headache. That's not how it works, babe. Usually I get migraines and then I am done for 3 days. Through my sleep, I heard Noah's muttering, the sound of someone entering the compartment to check on us, and my own labored breathing. Sometimes I'd wake up for a while and stare at the ceiling until I fell asleep again to the consistent rocking of the train. A cold hand was placed on my forehead and I reluctantly opened my eyes.
You're still feeling bad, aren't you? You know our 2 sleeping beauties.
Thank you.
I've been in and out of consciousness for 2 days now.
2 days? Anna sat on the edge of the bed and looked at me with sympathy. You're actually capable of that? Thank her for the care. At this point, she could have also been like a huge-ass bitch and not giving anything. Y'all, I've seen all type of humans. Despite her bossiness, Anna always helps me, often more than anyone else. Thank you.
You're welcome, Simona. I should have kept an eye on you, but I had to get out of here. Well, take it as your vacation, and you'll both be feeling better soon.
Anna is glad you appreciate her help. Your friendship has improved. Again, it's courtesy. I startled awake as the train brakes sharply. I flew into the table, painfully slamming my head on the edge of it. The light in the compartment blinked and then went out completely. What the? Suddenly someone's hand covered my mouth. Path of the Devil's Whisper? Unable to make out the stranger's silhouette in the darkness, I grabbed the attacker's hand so he couldn't break free. It'll be harder to find him if he escapes. Instead of fear, an uncontrollable surge of anger and aggression filled me. Woo! I was ready to fight and even, if necessary, kill y'all. In the darkness, I landed a kick right in the stomach of the figure towering over me. The man unclenched his fist and fell to the floor, coughing dryly. My sleepiness vanished. Jumping out of the bed, I twisted the attacker's hand and pinned the other one with my boot. Pressing my knee between his shoulder blades, I made the stranger wheeze painfully. Trying to restrain him, I hissed in the direction where Noah should have been sleeping. Help me! The man beneath me squirmed violently, and I leaned closer, trying to piece together what was happening. I heard a quiet wheezing sound beneath me. I can't. I mean, Sonny boy, don't hold your hand over my mouth. Like, what do you think this is? 50 Shades of Grey?
Get off my glasses.
Noah? My eyes finally adjusted to the darkness, and I saw that I was pinning my brother in my arms to the floor. I quietly stood up and crawled back to my bunk. Noah coughed, wiped a trickle of blood from his nose, and adjusted his glasses.
You're really nuts.
Seeing my eyes fill with anger, Noah quickly waved his hands.
No, just be quiet. Something's wrong, and it's better not to give away our presence.
Don't gag people in the dark. If the general was in my place, you might not be breathing by now.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't have time to think.
What's going on? We exchanged meaningful glances, and he continued.
The train braked all of a sudden, but it shouldn't have. The conductor himself said that there would be no stops.
I listened. The train was too quiet. No fuss, no voices, nothing. Noah went to the window and carefully peered behind the curtain.
I can't see anything. The lights are out in the entire train. If there are looters, then we need to find the others quickly. I don't have a weapon. Although, how would they get into a protected tunnel?
From up ahead, we heard bone-chillingly unnatural noises. A sudden flicker of light flashed outside our window as someone passed by. Noah pressed himself against the glass, but he couldn't see anyone.
We have to get out of here. We don't know what's going on otherwise.
Silently, he opened the door and we stepped out into the passageway. We crouched down and moved forward, almost crawling as we peered into the other compartments. There was not a soul inside. Where could they all be?
We'll find out sooner or later.
The train car was empty.
The only thing left is for us to get to the common car.
It better open it slowly and quietly. It kicked the door down at this point. I carefully lowered the handle all the way down, making almost no sound. Gently pushing the door, we peered through the tiny crack.
It's quiet. It seems like there's no one here either.
Emboldened, we went inside. This carriage was also empty.
Let's go outside.
We made our way by touch without using flashlights or chem lights. There was only darkness, silence, and the barely audible clacking of pebbles under our feet.
Something is close, right there at the head of the train.
Walking even slower, we reached the conductor's cabin and then approached the very front of the train. Slurping sounds came from somewhere below the undercarriage. Do you hear that?
Yes, it's here.
Noah made me stop and motioned for me to wait for him. He walked forward and took a small chem light out of his pocket. Bending it, he threw it under the train and jumped back. What the hell? Did we know her? Oh my god! An infected woman lay crushed under the wheels of the locomotive. Her arms, legs, and torso were twisted and bent at sickening, unnatural angles. She reached toward Noah, who was able to knock the monster's head off with one solid kick.
What the hell is going on? Is this a secure tunnel or an open yard? How did she get in here?
Fueled by shock, Noah stopped whispering and spoke in his normal voice. I pressed my finger to my lips. Quiet, can you hear it? There's water somewhere nearby.
Why would there be running water there?
Just then, something broke away from the locomotive and flew right at us. CAIN emerged from the darkness. My man! Happiness.
I can hear you from the other side of the train. I didn't know this bitch heard us, but strangely he didn't come when we were talking to Jan, that cutie. Where are the others? What's going on?
He must have been out cold before the stop, too. I don't think I was wrong. He really was just as sick as we are.
This is the first time I'm so glad to see.
Damn.
We don't have any weapons. If something happens,
Your only hope. Damn, he's not a weapon. Noah turned around, peering into the shadows of the tunnel ahead of us. At that moment, CAIN casually touched my hand.
It was unnecessary, but thank you.
Ah! So sorry. He's talking about the medicines that we left near his bed, right? Thanks to the medicine you gave CAIN, he was able to recover faster. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Like, this is the relationship I'm living for. This is the relationship I'm living for.
Let's move on. There really is something over there, I think.
At this point, I don't even know which story I love more. Heaven Secret Requiem / my character and CAIN, or Song of a Crimson Isle. Please let me know in the comments, like, which one do you like the most? I hope it's not abominations, raiders. Ooh, raiders. The most dangerous thing a human can encounter is another human. Honestly, this is so sad but true. Like, if you all have seen, like, all the contraptions that were constructed for World War II, with, like, the Jews and everything, like, how they actually were murdered. Wow. Like, humans are actually capable of doing horrendous things in order to get what they want. And honestly, that actually makes me feel disgusted by myself, even though I never did anything wrong in my life. Like, this is just wow. The farther we got from the train, the louder the nature sounds became, sounds that had no place in an isolated tunnel. Water began to glisten between the rocks beneath our feet, and soon we were walking ankle deep in it. A light appeared ahead.
The mid part of the tunnel collapsed. A landslide, either because of the moon or this never-ending rain. Noah.
We turned toward Anna's voice. Most of the squad, along with the conductor and the doctor, were standing next to a cliff's edge, watching in amazement at what was happening below.
You're awake. Come here. You should see this.
Uh-oh. Going up to the edge with the others, I looked out. What is it? Dozens of abominations were circling above a city. Those small black dots were raging under the clouds, barely visible because of the rain. The city was drowning in the endless rain. And stretching from the city in huge columns were people walking, wading through the shallow expanse.
The survivors want to go to Oxford, but almost all of them are being turned away and sent to other settlements. No one's ever flocked in here before. Where did these crowds come from? Something happened to those cities.
Shots and screams rang out. Someone tried to break in and bypass the guard post, but the violators were shot down immediately by people in uniform. A scuffle broke out in the crowd that had formed at one of the entrances. A crush of people, maddened by grief, threw themselves on the soldiers with their entire families, breaking through the fortified walls. Another series of shots followed, then silence again. Wow. Like, this actually is so fucking ridiculous. And it actually is what is done. Like, if you oppose authority, you are shut down. Like, like, screw all of human rights. You want to live, and that you trying to live actually means that you try to oppose authority, you're killed. You don't have any rights anymore. That's like when your human rights end. The water at one of the entrances turned red, but soon there was no trace of it. It washed away, as did the memories of the people who'd been alive only minutes before. What's going on over there?
The post are checking people. Only valuable personnel will get into the city. People of science, the military, or those with skills that are needed. The rest won't be let in.
I thought for a second What about me? Greg crossed his arms and frowned.
Yeah, we'll have to reveal your role to the others to get in.
What? Why? Alright, I'm sorry. It does not make any sense. Like, why do you need to reveal what I'm good at in order to get into the city? Like, we have the general even again, but still, they were like, they need military or people that can fight. Like, the immortals, they are good weapons, so they will get in. Why do I need to reveal that I'm a psychographer trying to decipher, like, the book in order to get in? But hey, I don't need to understand anything. I love that we finally got to see like a few more minutes with my fine ass man CAIN. But we will see what next episode will be like. Please let me know in the comments below if you want me to react to the next episode of Heaven's Secret Requiem or Song of a Crimson Nile. The choice is up to you. I'll leave it up to you. Like, just write it down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye!